Because I'm the best athlete ever come out of this country. There's no one better. I'm number one, Daylight is second. But they will never give me my flowers. I'm talking about the system. Because I'm proud, Aboriginal, Muslim, that just don't give a, you know what I mean? And they don't like that, you know what I mean? So that's why I left rugby league, because I was the best player in the world at the time, in 99. I've been ready since 96 to make the national team, but they never picked me year after year after year. I stayed. I was like, well, if you ain't gonna pick me, I'm out of here. Like, if it's fuck me, I'll fuck you, then I'm out.
Welcome to the show. Tough times never last, but tough people do. I'm Michael Kuzilny. You know, I've been doing this show for over 10 years now. I'm always inspired by the authentic people who come on and uplift others. And our new co-host, Mary's on the show. And Mary, of course, inspires a lot of people wherever she goes. She's a cancer survivor and certainly has had lots of difficult times. Thanks for coming on the show, Mary. It's great.
Thank you for having me on the show, Michael.
It's so much easier now, but it's there's so many people going through difficult times, isn't there?
Well, I'm hearing from a lot of people through my friends, through my family. They're going through financial struggles, they're going through illnesses, relationship problems. So I think if we can help anybody here today, I think on Tough Times Never Last, that's
really great, isn't it? And the great man, Tony Mundine's on, I was going to say on the couch, on the chair, and no need for any introduction. Who's Anthony Mundine?
Anthony Mundine's, you know, somebody that's, I suppose, you know, true to himself, a believer in God and good-fearing man, and someone that, you know, inspires, like he's got a knack to inspire others and lead by example. And you know, I'm a leader. You know, my tribal name is Baligan.
What is it?
Baligan, which means warrior.
Yeah.
So yeah, I lead like a warrior, man. And
Now you are a warrior. I remember interviewed you on the platform, and you got a lot of inspiration from your dad, and you've had some attacks from the public, but most people crumble. But what do you say again about haters? How do we treat our haters?
Man, they fuel my fire, because I really, you know, if someone, even when I was young, growing up, if someone said I couldn't do anything, do something, I proved that I could do it. You know, I want to prove that point. So, and hate is just like, you know, the words don't harm me in any way, but I want to prove them wrong even more. You know what I mean? That's gives me a relentless drive to achieve something that I want to obtain.
Yeah, good man. Mary, you spoke to Tony a few times.
I've spoken to Tony a few times. I have. Tony, your mindset. How do we get that mindset?
I don't know, man. I'm lucky. I was born with it. You know, I was born with that mindset, that lion mentality. You know, that you need to have in this world. You know what I mean? A lot of people, like you said, crumble or whatever. You know, all the heat that I took, you know, through my career. You know, at times people would have definitely buckled and bailed out. But God's given me this resilience that nothing can penetrate. And I feel that I was just blessed with that. You know what I mean? Not everyone's blessed with that. So,
Tony, what are the worst three toughest times in your life that you can remember?
It's very hard for me to say that. Obviously, death's not a great thing. So a lot of close family members dying of cancer and things like that. That put me in I never get to a dark place though. You know what I mean? Always, life is life. We come, we go. Everyone's got an expiry date. You know what I mean? So
It's so true, viewers, isn't it? Everyone's got an expiry date. In fact, I wrote a book many years ago, expiry date 25,000 days. That's all we get, about 25,000 days. So don't waste your time because, as Mary said the other day, there's not a person on this planet who doesn't face tough times. It's just the way we deal with things, Mary, isn't it?
And one of the questions I wanted to ask you, what are you doing with yourself today? You've gone from this mindset of resilience, and what does Tony Mundine do with himself now? You're retired.
I do. Alhamdulillah, I invested well in my career. I learned from my dad. You know what I mean? He had a great career as well, but black fellas, we not very good with money. You know what I mean? My dad would blow a lot of money. Back in these days when he was fighting, you could buy a terrace place in Newtown for $12,000, $15,000. You know what I mean? In the 70s, early 70s. And his biggest payday was $100,000 US dollars. So he was getting big money when he was fighting. And he used to always tell me, I wish I would have invested more. Wish I would have invested more back when I was in my prime, so I can have something to show for it. But obviously, blackfellas just help the family, give everyone money, and leave enough for himself. You know what I mean?
And what have you invested in?
Oh, I got a few boarding houses in the city of Sydney, Surrey Hills, Redfern. I have a couple of offices up over at Mascot, where it's going to be the new sort of hub or business near the airport with great views. We got a disability services company, me and my sister, Mundine Disability Services, just doing the services for the people. MGM, which I'm wearing here today. MGM is construction in the civil space, and we give labour hire, give brothers and sisters jobs and opportunities, try to help them live a successful, productive life. You know what I mean?
And what about Mundine Mindset?
Mundine Mindset, that's the thing. I do that occasionally. I don't know what's wrong with it, man, but I want to try and get it out there. Mundine Mindset, it's a program where at any sort of level, community level, school level, high school, primary school, universities, even businesses, corporate, where I come and you can get half a day, you can get a full day.
And what do we expect from if we were to?
Well, it's my journey in life, my journey in my career, and how I got there, and the obstacles I need to overcome in order to be the man. You know what I mean?
Tony, what's that? That's a group, or is that a course?
No, it's a program. Me and another brother of mine, Timmy Duggan, run it, and we just go through my story timeline. We have a bit of interaction with the business side of things as well, bit of games
great.
and
So
things like
Can
that.
anyone join?
Yeah. If you look up MundineMindset.com, you'll see all the information.
So
on
it's for productivity. It's all about focus, discipline, consistency, that sort of thing. Yeah.
And my story and how I got to the levels that I got to, because I'm the best athlete ever come out of this country. There's no one better. I'm number one, Daylight is second. But they will never give me my flowers. I'm talking about the system, because I'm proud Aboriginal Muslim that just don't give a, you know what I mean, and they don't like that. You know what I mean? So that's why I left rugby league, because I was the best player in the world at the time in '99. I've been ready since '96 to make the national team, but they never picked me year after year after year. I stayed. I was like, well, if you ain't gonna pick me, I'm out of here. Like, if it's fuck me, I'll fuck you, then I'm out. And then they thought I was gonna come back, but I knew I had a goal to go to boxing and to be champion, because my dad You know, he fought in the harder era when there was only one belt, but we're in the era of the 4-belt era, which is WBO, WBC, IBF, WBA, and so it was probably a lot easier to win a world title in these days, but it's still super, super hard. You have to be very special to win one, and I just wanted to win one, and I promised myself I'm not going to stop till I get it, and then I done that and won the title, and I felt like that was the whole monkey lift off my back, and no matter what I'd done from that point, I was the best ever. So to do what I'd done in rugby league, they denied me the fact to play for my country since '96. So I was only a 21-year-old kid, but I was tearing up the league, and then the '96, the '97, the '98, the '99, and then '99 was my best year. My best year was '99. Statistically, there's no one near me. No one. Like, I'm a 5'8". 5'8's average. A good 5'8 average is maybe 7 to 10 tries a year. I was scoring double that. Not just that, I was try assist. I was up high in try assist. So statistically, I was the best in the league as a 5'8". Daily, I pumped him. Fittler, I pumped him. We're not talking 1 year. We're not talking one game. We're talking my whole career. So when I come into the league, ever since I played against them, in the same position, or played against them, I outplayed them, and my team always beat them. Their team never ever beat my team. And I used to tell them before I play them, why pick him, I'll whip him. This bloke's running on old legs. I was only 20-year-old, he was 26. He's still young himself, you know what I mean? But I was just that cocky that I felt I wasn't getting my flowers then, so I want to talk up about it and make it excitement, make it. It was like a fighter's mentality from the start.
Tell you, what was that? I still remember some racism thing with another player. What was that all about?
No, I called a black cunt in '98 semi-final against Canterbury at Togara. Barry Ward. This is what I mean by this.
But you spoke about him quite highly. I remember.
This is what I mean by the justice system, right? So I fought it all the way with the NRL, and I want to take it all the way. And so he got fined the highest maximum amount back then, which was $10,000. But they appealed it, and they halved his fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Did he apologise at the end?
But he didn't even apologise. Like, it's just.
But you were the bigger man. I remember the way you said, "Look, he's a good player. I wish him all the best, and I wish he didn't go this far." Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, man, we just got to educate the people, man.
Yeah.
Especially the next generations to come, because it's indoctrinated into their psychic and their system to be, they're taught by their forefathers, their grandparents, parents, and whatever. It's a cycle. And we got to break that cycle and get that education in that cycle.
Is there still racism?
100%, bro.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's better. It's a bit more educated.
Yeah.
It's fashionable to stand up with for the Aboriginal plight and things like that. But when I was doing it, I was one out by myself. One out. There was no one with me. You know what I mean? You got all these sports stars today. They got a dozen or half, a dozen stars that stand and on each other. Well, me, I was one by myself.
And Chuck, to be such a one of Australia's sporting heroes, I can imagine a lot of discipline, a lot of hours. Bringing up a family at the same time, or were you single in those days?
Well, I had Jada when I was 23, so yeah, 23. Then I had the kids, 26. So yeah, I was still bringing it, but I was more focused on my career. I was obviously trying to be a good dad as well.
Yeah.
At the time.
And what's Anthony, the dad, like?
Oh, he's a cool cat. You know what I mean? I love my kids, man. Like, I try to just teach them, respect.
What are they up to?
Honour.
Honour, respect. Yeah. What are they up to? The kids?
They're working. they're working. CJ's trying to try hand in boxing. He played footy for a few years, so he's going to go to boxing. Anthony's he's playing basketball for the NBL 1.
Yeah.
He's got good talent.
Yeah.
And my other kids, Malik and Aisha, they're Malik's working, being he's on the grind. That kid, he loves taking care of himself and trying making his own money, traveling. He loves to travel.
Stuff, yeah.
And Aisha she's still nice still.
It seems to me, bro, that no matter what storm hits you, your faith always brings you through, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah,
you do surrender, don't you?
Like at the end of the day, man, like what's gonna be is gonna be. You know what I mean? Like for me, like being a Muslim that believe in the one Creator, the one Lord, the one power, always can turn back to that. Because at the end of the day, the Almighty is in control. You know what I mean? And He's the one that can, ease your affairs or whatever. You know what I mean? So, all glory to the Most High, man.
And how did you find faith in Allah?
Man,
how did
you know
that
what?
happen?
Well, obviously we're black fellas, so we were brought up Christians. We was the Church of England, but I wanted to learn about the faith. I wanted to learn about the foundation of the belief. So I started to look into it, speak to my uncles and that were pastors and things at the time, ask questions, being very, very inquisitive. What I found, I felt like it was away from my tribe, my tribal belief, because I went back to my old uncles about Aboriginal tribal law, and our belief, and that system, the tribal law, was just believing the one God, with the one power, and obviously we have the women have their roles, men have their roles, and when I went down, with the Christian faith, I felt like the Trinity, that really didn't make sense to me, so I went down looked into that, and come to find for me that it was created, or that come into being 325 years after Christ, after Prophet Isa passed, bless and peace be upon him, and so that came into being 325 years after, and it was voted in by the church fathers and bishops at the time.
It's beautiful, Tony, how you're not many sort of sporting stars talk about this sort of stuff. I find that a lot of people wear their masks and they run around bullshitting. Are you busy? Everybody pretends to be happy, but so many people are depressed, anxious, or even suicidal. Your authenticity is very refreshing, and it seems to me that a lot of the young people these days, there's no faith. They don't believe in anything really.
Yeah, but that's what I mean, bro. You gotta do your research. You gotta do your, because God's given us faculties and reasonings to have free will and be smart and to know what's right from wrong and things like that. So I was going down that path. When I found that out, that was a big like to be voted in, something to be so trusting, with the churches and that, which I have nothing against. You know what I mean? Like I'm for love and peace and honor to everyone. But I'm just explaining my journey, and it didn't match up where Jesus is God or part of God or the literal Son of God, and then the three being one, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, them three separate identities being one. I was like, but if you study the historical Prophet Isa, he prayed to God, he asked God for help. He said he's the way to God, yes, but every prophet of his time was the way to God. You know what I mean? And the son by the tons in the Bible. So all prophets were the son of God. But so I broke it down. Then I went back to my tribal beliefs, and the male role and the women's role and the judicial sort of system, justice system, was exactly like identical to like Islam's Sharia law, and that got me over the line. And all a Muslim means is someone who submits their will to the one God, the one power, the one master. That's it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I spoke to Anthony a few times on the phone, and it made me realise that I had lost a little bit of faith, and you've directed me back to God. Thank you.
That's good. Alhamdulillah, man. Like at the end of the day, bro, we're nothing. We're pretty much insignificant beings in this vast, complex universe. You know what I mean? Like, you done some. I looked up a bit of astronomy back in the day, and like there's trillions of planets and trillions of stars and galaxies out there, man. Like it's phenomenal. It's like crazy. You know what I mean? And
what's your advice, Tony, to might be a father who can't see his children, and he's on the verge of maybe taking his life, or people who are going through a medical sickness?
Man, well, have faith in God. Do you study in God, whatever good that may be, whatever road you may go down and choose that's the truth. Just use your faculties, use your reasonings, and seek God and pray to God and ask Him to guide you, ask Him to give you strength. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, no matter how you slice it and dice it, we're going to go back to the one. You know what I mean?
Is that how you're mentally so strong and you come across as fearless because you believe so much in God? He's by your side?
Yeah. Well, I was like that before, you know, being more spiritual. But my last probably 8 years, I haven't missed a salah. Well, I haven't missed a prayer. Well, I maybe missed 1, 2, maybe on my hand, you can count them. You know what I mean?
So how can, say viewers, because everybody goes through difficult times, so how do we have that Mundine mindset? How do we?
I'm always got a positive, like we're breathing. You know what I mean? We're breathing, we're living. Like,
absolutely, Tony.
We're eating.
So how many knockouts did you have?
I think about 28, 29, something like that.
Yeah, so some viewers might think, how can he be in the ring and punch somebody out all the time, but at the same time he's got this love in him? And the answer to that, I suppose, is that it's still love, but it's the afterwards you shake their hand, yeah?
Oh yeah, man. Like, it's just, we're in a sport where it's competitive nature. Like, ever since I was a kid, the way I acted when I was in the Crows is the same way I was when I was a kid. I used to talk smack to my cousins and friends. I'm the man, this and that shit. You know what I mean? You can't beat me, I'm the best. I was like that as a kid, so I just brought that to the professional ranks.
Cool. And you're doing the knuckle, what do you call it, knuckle fighting?
Bare knuckle. We're going to start the first bare knuckle in Australia, which is
the real stuff.
It's going to be good. And it's the authentic.
Authentic fighting, like the old. You know what?
Old school fighting.
You know what I find funny, bro, is that even my son, like, you know, even growing up, you get into a blue at the nightclub and you'd make up, you know. But a lot of boys haven't even been in a single fight, you know. I think we've created a very soft society, you know. And,
well, it's a different society to what I grew up in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's all games and phones, and the tech world's sort of taken over, man. You know what I mean?
You spend a lot of time on your mobile phone being so prominent?
I do, but I try not to get caught up too much in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm at a dinner with family or whatever, I try to put it down and not touch it.
Yeah, good.
You know what I mean?
It's annoying, Mary.
Try to.
Do you go out much, Anthony? Do you go out?
I don't. Every now and then I go out here and there. You know,
do you ever get anybody try to pick on you?
Nah. They love the meat. Old people love me, women love me, kids love me.
Of course. What's there not to love?
That's what I'm saying, bro. You know what I mean?
That's it.
I'm real, bro. I'm grassroots. You know, from Canterbury.
Yeah.
Then moved to Elwood.
Yeah.
And I grew up around Redfern, Waterloo.
You're working in the community. You're helping people.
Well, I've done that my whole life.
You like helping people.
For free,
What are you doing?
You know, for free. You know what I mean?
Good man.
Helping people.
I do the Monday Mindset program, and like I said, inspire kids. Get them to make the right choices in life, and get them to have set goals and dreams for themselves. Because if I can do it, they can do it. You know what I mean? Give them that belief. But anywhere I go, anywhere I walk, I try to help.
Inspire you, lift people up, yeah. Anthony, thank you for coming on. You're a good man.
Pleasure, my brother. No
Thank you,
problem.
sir.